Starting from a daily chart, today is the first full week of the month of May. Price obviously comes from an expansion phase here at the end of last week. Okay, so obviously left important PD rays in in premium because price was in expansion, such as a volume imbalance. Today could potentially create a suspension block, right? Because there would be a fair value gap that has two volume imbalances. Right, you could also just grade the fair value gap. I mean, it doesn't really matter. So key discount arrays. Ideally, I would like to see this be either breakaway or IOFED at worst case. Right, I don't think there's any reason to look for shorts. Price is clearly proving that keeps bouncing from order blocks. Right, and now so far has created a potential breakaway gap through order blocks. Price currently, is there a divergence at previous day's low? No, there isn't. There's a divergence at previous day's high currently, but okay. So right now, where is price trading? It's trading inside the premium area of interest, which is the wick high here of yesterday, right? Because sorry, not yesterday, but the previous day's profile. Because at these levels we saw price create a consolidation. ES even reversed at these levels, right? The S&P 500 made a new low of day, and I mean currently price has opened at 25% of it, right? Gapped up, has traded to 75% of it, and now it's trading back at the open. So, right, what is there to say that this is not enough to, right? So they could create another expansion that would create this, or at least I would validate it as a breakaway gap. Okay, so that's something that's possible. So there's a PD of interest here at these levels. We'll look at it on the hourly chart, the one that forms inside of the wick. So premium level, obviously any other premium level would be that intraday divergences between sessions. Okay, London with New York, or Asia with London, or Asia with New York, right? Whatever it is. Discount arrays, again, it doesn't mean that because it's a volume imbalance, price will want to come back to it today. Right, price could consolidate today. This is another option because price comes from expansion. It's the open of the week. There's no economic data today. This week there's quite a lot of important releases. Right, tomorrow JOLTS, ISM services. Then there's the ADP release figures on figure release. Sorry, on Wednesday. Initial jobless claims on Thursday, and then NFP Friday. Let's look at a 4-hour chart. So last week, classic bye week, a bit of a uncommon profiles midweek here at these levels. Right, price creating a big consolidation, but I mean this is the craziness of FOMC and earnings. I guess this is quite a scenario. It's a scenario that happens quite often. Just again, uncommon to see it inside of a classic bi-week profile. And obviously the last day of the week here expanded. Okay, so price still very bullish. If you look at the price profile of this curve, right, we can see that the order block of interest is at these levels. Right, we have a lot of order blocks inside of this range to choose from. Personally, I like the wick high of the order block of Thursday. Why? Because on the lower time frames, this was really the final shakeout, right? Then divergence at the lows, and then from there, traded higher from the high of it, right? If we look at the high here of, the low of the previous day's range comes right at the high of it. There's obviously a fair value gap at these levels. Okay, so a very bullish price action. So obviously this is an important PD rate. Okay, fair value gap right to 25%, sorry, of the previous week's range. In terms of a bullish profile, could look like a Tuesday, Wednesday low of week. Price, I mean, I don't, but anything could happen. The price could consolidate from these levels also. If price were to break this range, okay, say on, I would probably say Tuesday or Wednesday, okay, all depending on how the profile develops, then you can grade the wick high of the order block and see then how price trades into it, right? Because if, say it's Wednesday and price is trading at these levels and creates a bullish daily profile from it, right? Because price came down into discount, this would provide a good opportunity for a continuation long. Another scenario that's possible, okay, in case price would have to come back all the way here is, right, price rejects, but leaves some kind of BPR inside of the range, right? Some kind of either an order block, some kind of obvious order block, or obvious fair value gap, right? And overall, right, say it's price trading at these levels, and then a new week opens, say week 2 or week 3, right? Opens, trades higher, and then from these levels, right, it reverses, because this is a very important fair value gap here. This is going to depend, the reaction from this is going to depend on time of week, right? Because it could do this, just like it could do this. So far in terms of premium arrays, again, it's premium arrays at this point at all-time highs is mostly through divergences, session liquidity ideally. If we look at the 3-day look back, obviously at the previous day's range, right, there's a series of order block, obviously, because price ended as a consolidation, but most importantly, there's a fair value gap that cuts right through 50% of it. Okay, so PD of interest, there's currently a divergence at these levels. Okay, so this could mean if price is really bullish today, okay, keeps expanding from these levels and keeps creating fair value gaps in order blocks, right? New York could simply either consolidate around it or retrace into it to trade higher. Price could also consolidate at these levels, okay, because of the range that it comes from. It could simply sweep it, right, and create the Monday range into the weekly profile. Could price reverse into it? Sure, right? Some kind of New York reversal. It's always possible. And then could kind of chop towards the end of the day. So keep either inside of the range. This range here, this is the 4 hour, the wick high of the 4 hour order block. On the hourly, it looks like this. Okay, so key discount rate. If ever price, again, disrespects these levels, does it keep trading higher? Does it respect them? What time of the week is it? Okay, so on the hourly chart, key level and another key level. Overall, in terms of premium targets that we could have, there's -4 standard deviation, which is above 28,000. Okay, so some kind of range between 28,100, 28 to 100. And then from there, some kind of new range should create.